Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm aware, obviously, I'm a little bit delayed in getting some of these episodes up and obviously live for you all to listen to. But I promise I will get better at posting and uploading for people that are actually listening, to the episodes and that are following along. So thank you for that as well. So yeah, on today's episode, it's really again a personal one, and honestly, where do I start? It's something I've carried for years. I mean, we're talking about body dysmorphia, self-image, and learning to love yourself when your reflection doesn't match the version of you that lives in your mind. That's very difficult. I wanted to really start by saying, if you've ever looked in the mirror and immediately criticized yourself, if you've ever picked apart your body, if you've ever felt like your worth was tied to how lean, toned, how small, big you are not alone. Honestly, I've been there, and deeply. Like, I've had this for so long. I mean, there was a period in my life where I was extremely toned and lean. I trained a lot, I dieted hard, and from the outside people would say, wow, you look amazing, you look fantastic, you're doing so well, you should be proud. But realistically, what people didn't see was how very little I was actually eating. I was on very minimal food, constantly restricting, constantly thinking about calories, weighing my food, tracking my food, constantly chasing this image of perfection. And when you're not fueling your body properly, you're not really fueling your brain either. Your brain is starved. So yeah, looking back now, I genuinely believe that being underfed for such a long time affected my mental health more than I realised. And when your brain is deprived of nutrients, it impacts your mood, your thinking, your emotional regulation, everything. I was extremely anxious, obsessive, and mentally just drained and exhausted, really. And at times, I did feel like I was losing control of my thoughts, again, psychosis, whether that was directly caused by the dieting or just a contributing factor. I don't know for certain. I can't really say. It's a bit unknown really as to what caused that, but I do know that starving yourself never leads to, peace. It's a slippery road to go down. Then life really just changed, as it does. I stopped dieting. I ate more. My body changed. I gained weight quite quickly. After I competed, I had a six-pack and everything, obviously, stepping on stage and all that. And I started getting a belly, and I was like, oh my God, my belly's bloating out. I did gain weight quite fast. Again, when you're obviously very, very small and very, food deprived, and you're just tired, and, your body is just at the smallest it can be, it's actually like a sponge. So anything you eat, it just absorbs it. And that's when the real struggle began. Sorry. I give up. I really do. That's where the real struggle began. Because in my mind, I was still comparing myself to the old version of me, the lean, toned version. Every time I looked in the mirror, I didn't see a normal, healthy body. I just saw failure. I heard those voices in my head saying, you're fat. You've let yourself go. You don't look good anymore. You're awful. Like, you carry weight here. You're this, you're that. Just all this negative, horrible things I would say to myself. I would stand there staring at myself, analysing every angle, every part of my body. And the thing about body dysmorphia is, it's not about really reality. It's about perception. You can look completely normal, healthy, even stunningly beautiful, but your brain tells you something different. It tells you negative things about yourself. And when those thoughts repeat often enough, they start to feel like the real truth about yourself. And for a long time, my weight gain affected my mental health so badly. My confidence dropped. I felt uncomfortable in my own skin. I avoided certain clothes. I compared myself to other people constantly, which I don't do that anymore. I must admit, I've actually finally got over that. I really don't compare myself to anybody else. I judged myself harshly in ways I would never judge anyone else. But here's what I've learned: healing doesn't really happen overnight. As I've said many times in the episodes, it's only recently that I've started to shift my mindset. And I want to be honest, I still have moments. I still have my moments. I still sometimes catch myself in the mirror and hear that voice trying to come back to me. The difference now is that I do not let it take over me. Because thoughts, they're intrusive. I couldn't get the word out then. Intrusive. Like they're almost like automatic. They just come in very quickly. But I've learned to appreciate my body for what it does, not just what it looks like. My body has carried me through life. It lets me experience things. It holds my energy, my emotions, my soul. Our bodies are not who we are. They're the armor around who we are. They're the armor to our souls. They're like a shield protecting something much, much deeper. So yeah, when I started focusing on loving myself from within rather than the outside, everything began to change. Not instantly, doesn't happen overnight, not perfectly, but gradually. It's not really like self-love is not a switch you flip one day where you adore yourself. It's something you have to build over time. The way you speak to yourself, it's the boundaries you set you set with your own thoughts. It's the compassion you show yourself when you're struggling. One of the biggest things that helped me when I was changing how I really spoke to myself, those voices, what I was mentioning about earlier. Instead of, I look awful, I hate my body, I'm not good enough, I started saying, like, my body's changing. That's okay. I'm more than my appearance. I deserve kindness from myself. And I started to look at the things that I do like, the things that I like on my body instead of picking apart the things that I really dislike. And the more that I stand there and stare and I find things, I start to feel that love from within. And I'm not saying affirmations magically fix everything, but they kind of like interrupt the negative cycle. They create space for new beliefs to grow. Another huge part of my healing has been food. One thing I will say, and this is for people that have, could have eating disorders and stuff like that, and I hope this reaches somebody that might have that difficulty, with the relationship with food, sorry. Just hear me out here. Food is not the enemy. Food is fuel. Food is nourishment and food is life. We need food to survive. So when I was dieting heavily, I thought I had control, but in reality, I was disconnected totally from my body. I wasn't listening to my hunger. I wasn't giving myself enough energy. And that level of restriction can actually impact hormones, mood, sleep, and your mental health, your mental clarity. But I have got such a different relationship with food now. I eat to nourish myself. I eat when I'm hungry. I eat to feel energized. I eat because I love it. I love food. And yes, I still care about my health, but health is not starvation. Health is all about balance. It is all about balance. If your brain is underfueled, your thoughts will suffer too. And that's something people don't really talk about enough. Another thing I have also learned is that you cannot completely stop negative thoughts, okay? The goal isn't to, completely get rid of them. That's impossible. You're always going to have that, a little bit of a voice, a little bit of a negative, voice in your head. It's just, the trick is to manage them, to notice them without believing them. Think of your thoughts like background noise. Just because something pops into your head doesn't mean it's true. It's just your voice telling you that, it's just, it's a head game really, isn't it? It doesn't mean you have to engage with that voice. You can acknowledge it and then, let it pass. And that's really like mind control. That's the that's healing, really. And self-love also means allowing your body to change. You know, our bodies are not meant to stay the same forever. Weight fluctuates, life happens, stress happens, hormones change, aging happens. This is all very normal. We're not going to stay the same. We're not going to look the same forever. Change is allowed to happen. You are not failing because your body has changed. You are a human being. So if you're listening to this right now and you're struggling with your reflection, I want you to remember these things, okay? You are not your body. You are not a number on a scale. And you are not your clothing size. Fuck that. Who gives a shit about that, honestly? Like, you are none of them things. Like, none of them things really matter at the end of the day. You are your energy, your kindness, your resilience, your heart, your soul. Your body is just the home that you live in, sorry. It's just your home. It's there to protect your soul. What matters is what's going on inside, and the kind of person that you are will always be remembered as. And homes, you know, they don't need to be perfect to be worthy. Self-love takes time. It definitely takes a lot of patience, and it takes repetition. Some days you'll feel fine. Some days you feel so confident. Some days you'll feel like shit. Both are normal. This is all a part of it, okay? It's very up and down. But what matters is that you keep choosing, you know, this kindness towards yourself. Speak highly of yourself, even when you don't fully believe it yet. Feed your body, even when your mind tells you not to. And challenge your negative thoughts, even when they feel extremely loud. Tackle them, you know, full on, and just try to ignore and block out those negative thoughts. Because over time, you know, your inner voice changes. Mine definitely has. It's a lot quieter. It's not as negative. I'm trying to, you know, I'm still practicing that, but my thoughts are a lot more positive about myself. And you know, if mine can change, yours can too. So today I want you to do a small thing. Look in the mirror, not to criticize. Promise me you won't criticize, but to acknowledge yourself. Thank your body for something it's done for you. Thank you. Sorry, start again. Thank your body for everything it's done for you, even if it's just getting you through this day. Healing starts with moments like this, okay? Thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for listening and allowing me to share, you know, this personal topic, and allow me to have this safe space to talk to you all. If this episode did resonate with you at all, just so you know, you're not alone in this journey. You're never alone on any journey. And we're all learning to love ourselves a little bit more one day at a time. It takes time, okay? And that is enough. So yeah, I shall see you in the next episode. And yes, you won't have to wait. As I said previously, you won't have to wait too long for the next one. But yeah, I hope this helps and it resonates with you all. But yeah, take care. Much love. Bye-bye.